Greetings, my name is Nick Ronaldo, and this is my EMEN 5030 presentation for project management titled Know Yourself. Our subject for today is truly communications, and most importantly, understanding how each of us works is critical to the role of communications and in the task of becoming and being a project manager. We've discussed it in the text about how important to project management communication is, and obviously I can't stress that enough. So here's a little presentation that will give you some resources, some books, and hopefully help you in your life, in your careers. I've learned a lot of this through personal business endeavors, through school, through this class, working on our project, with the extreme amounts of communication it took to get this done in a summer semester. We had bi-weekly meetings plus daily email communications. It was paramount, absolutely paramount to our project. I've also attached at the end of this presentation and in a separate document some resources, the links I used for this presentation, and the book titles and authors, so you can find this reference material pretty easily. Let's start right out with one of the most important things I think comes to communication is personality tests. If you do a Google search, you'll find about 24 million search results. That's a lot. It started in ancient Greek times and it's been evolving ever since. But currently in the business world and industry, it's critical to understand the people around you and yourself. I've learned a lot from these tests. I've recently took the DISC test. This is one of the more popular tests you'll find out there. The few others out there, the Briggs-Myers I took a few years ago, and the Big Five. These all share a lot of insight into your personal self, but more so into those of your colleagues when you get the opportunity to share these. And my last recent experience with it, we shared our profiles and got to learn a lot about my coworkers. It was an extremely valuable experience, and I recommend utilizing these in projects and in your experiences. The next thing I'd like to discuss are personal performance reviews. A big one that you'll find out in industry, and I've had the pleasure of doing, is the 360 evaluation and analysis. It's a pretty bulky and cumbersome process, but it yields a high value and a lot of information about how each of us operate and function within a workforce. I highly recommend it. Another very important tool to be used for personal performance reviews are training needs analysis reports. I currently do a semi-annual report with my boss, and we discuss training he thinks that I should take, and I also discuss training that I would like to take to further my future in the organization, and it seems to be pretty mutually beneficial. These meetings can be formal or informal, and in my experience they've been fairly formal, but typically they're one-on-one sessions and very helpful for you to get feedback from your employer or your boss or even your coworkers or partners in business. My final topic for today is communication, 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 and yes, communication. Books like the Alpha Project Manager make great references to communication, how they can go both good and bad. A quote from there is the repeat patterns of poor communication. Now that obviously highlights the bad side. They also make note of how communication flows freely in that text. Very good text. I highly recommend it if you're continuing on to be a project manager. It can't hurt to ask questions throughout your whole process. All of us want to display our skills and talents we have. However, we had to learn them typically from somebody. So get out and talk to those people that you're going to learn from. And in conclusion, other things that I've learned from along the way that I'd like to share with you. If you haven't taken it, go out and take an OI Psych or Organizational Institutional Psychology class. Extremely valuable to my future. Hopefully it will be for yours too. Get out and read a book called Primal Leadership. This is really critical if you're going to continue on to be a project manager. And also the text, Hammer Proof, Local Colorado Reading. Thanks for watching my presentation. I hope you found this information informative.